I'm Brittany, this is Hua-Chung, and welcome back for more Alien Stage. This is actually the last main music video, to my knowledge, that we currently have for Alien Stage. I know that Vivinos is releasing other things and has been dropping, I think, one or two other things recently that I will get to should I need to get to them. I'm pretty sure there are videos. But as far as what I think is being referred to as season 1 of Alien Stage, this is supposed to round it off. So it makes sense that it's like 8 minutes long instead of 3. But it's also very concerning considering what they do in 3 minutes, let alone 8. But before we get into Karma, which is what the last music video is called, we're going to talk about a couple of things. One, this is a reaction and then an off-the-cuff, very intuitive deep dive for somebody who only knows what they have told me so far in the music videos. This is not an expert sitting down to break things down and break things apart who is sitting there with all the knowledge. I'm gleaning knowledge as I go. So I'll be reacting to Karma, and then I'm going to go off and watch it again to better absorb. And then I'm going to comb through basically frame by frame and see what we can figure out and deduce. Before we do that, though, we're going to talk about a couple of comics that came before it. And this whole discussion and the reaction will be in full, and the discussion that we have after we watch Karma and all of that will be very lightly edited because I'm currently on a time crunch and I also have a lot of anxiety around editing at the moment. So you'll forgive me if this feels more like a live stream than an actual, like, properly, fully edited video. But that's what we have to deal with. So the two comics, and I do have notes here, that I read just now, just immediately before getting ready to film and hopping on camera, were The True Face and My Fragile God Fading Fast. My Fragile God Fading Fast was the one that, you know, everybody said that you needed to read before Karma in order to just understand Karma on first watch. And then another person who I asked for links for the comic also said you should probably read The True Face as well. And so I did. I read both. And we need to talk about Mizi. For a series that is so built on exploring intense fixations and attachment that develop under extreme and extremely traumatic circumstances, why would we think that Mizi would be exempt to that? I don't know. Maybe because we feel for her so much. And by we, I mean me. It's me. I'm bitches. I care for her a lot. That much is obvious. And getting those glimpses into what is basically her origin story really, it makes me feel for her even more. But then it also, if anyone was like putting her up on a pedestal a little bit, this knocks her off in the sense that while it's still very clear that she had a lot of love for Sua, it's still coming under the worst possible circumstances, and as a result there is a desperation and a fixation to it, even though it can also be really beautiful. And in case you haven't read the comics, which I kind of assume you have, if you're in the Alien Stage fandom, I feel like there's a high rate of people who consume everything instead of just the music videos. But just to recap for context. So, Mizi, her mom, when she was very young, got killed. By accident, according to the aliens around Mizi. And so therefore, Mizi got adopted with really no protector or no, older, better able to maybe shield her from what she could. She had no parent. She had no older person to filter this experience through at all. It was just, she was at the mercy of the aliens who look on human children kind of like you would look on like a really cute puppy or, you know, toy. It was all extremely dehumanizing in the worst and most frank way. And Mizi, being so young, she thought it was great until it wasn't. And then when it wasn't, what did she have? She had Alien Stage to watch. And she saw, through very young eyes, a way to have some kind of power. And begged, held her breath even, to get on Alien Stage. And wound up in a Noct Garden. And met Sua. In which she says, "I just find you so adorable." Which, unbeknownst to her, because she did not know the language that the aliens were speaking, that is exactly how the aliens treated her. So even if she didn't have direct, you know, things said to her to go off of, because she didn't know the language, she knew how she was treated. And all she knew, because it happened when she was so young, was to go forth and treat others in that way. And so she immediately latched onto Sua, thinking that that's what love was. Because however her mother was before she died, Mizi looked pretty young. She looked about, oh God, what, like 4 or 5? I bet there's her specific age somewhere. But she was so young that she would like barely remember that. It would still impact her, and I think probably the reason that she is as human as she is because she at the very least had her mother for a little while in some capacity before getting killed. So she at least arrived at the garden perpetuating certain behaviors that she was raised in. I think from there was a lot of genuine love for Sua and genuine attachment to others around her, like Till, just like she got to experience humanity finally getting to be around humans, albeit very mistreated young humans. And that colors her entire deal in a very, very interesting light. To say nothing of the true face, in which her survivor's guilt hits such a peak that you almost think it's like she is now realizing herself, not even realizing, she's convincing herself that she must have had a role in all of this. That fault must be with her somewhere. That she must be responsible somewhere. Even though when she told Till, I have no idea what I'm doing, so anyone who's like attracted to me or like she legitimately said, I have no idea. And we see in her backstory, how would she have any idea as to what she was doing to make people like her? She wouldn't. She would have not a fucking clue. So in that way, she's been innocent the whole time. But in the true face, it's like she's getting so traumatized over and over in a very specific way of losing the people that she loves and has attachments to right in front of her. That in that moment holding Till and looking over him, it really feels like Karma is going to involve some kind of break. I don't know in which direction she'll break. If she has to break, I would love for her to take out some guards, take out the aliens maybe somehow in the audience. I don't know. I would hate for her to break and have that result in other deaths of maybe like other characters who might be on the, the stage right now, or just anything at all, really. But suffice to say that Mizi's psyche has been painted with a very similar gray brush that other characters have been painted with. In the case in which they've been painted with gray brushes in addition to black brushes, because God knows that the psyche of everybody involved, dire. Mizi, not an exception to that. It's a little heartbreaking. It's actually very heartbreaking. And now I'm going to hit play on Karma to react to it. Because even though technically I've seen this before, I watched the music videos before, Karma was not out at the time that I first watched this. Was not out at all. And I haven't even really remembered anything about anything for the rest of the music videos to begin with. So this is brand fucking new. I have not seen this.
위선 떨지 마. 너나 나나 구원받을 자격 없어.
그대와 함께 있나 멀리 지하의 별로 우리 어쩜 그 너머까지 당신과 나도 우리 그대와 함께 있나 비로소 지하의 별로 어쩌면 그 너머까지 당신과 나도 우리
Oh my god. Oh my god.
내려와 우릴 감싸느며 당신과 내 심장 흐드러지 타고서 영원히 영원한 곳으로 그대와 함께 라면 이 사랑
현아 언니, 고백할 게 있어요. 그 애는 매일 밤 남몰래 죽음을 연습하고 있었어요. 사실 알면서 모른 척했어요. 아마도 전 그 애한테
What?
까지 절박하지 않았나 봐요. 언니의 사랑과는 다르다는 거 알아요. 하지만 이것 또한 사랑이었어요. 그 누가 뭐라 할 수 있겠어요? 언니도 그 애의 표정을 봤다면 날 질책할 수 없을 거려?
내려와 우릴 감싸으며 당신과 내 심장 부드러지게 웃지 바람을 타고서 영원히 영원한 곳으로
Oh my god!
그대와 함께
I didn't think we'd see that in any way, shape, or form! Frames of that in whatever context!
당신을 도망치고 있는 것뿐이야. 단 한순간도 자신의 진짜 감정을 직면하지 않았지. 적당한 대의나 정의 같은 것에 매달리면 뭔가 해결되는 것 같았나요? 돌아온 게 그 개죽음이고 자유가 주어진다 한들 우린 똑같이 외로웠을 거예요. 인간 그 자체가 이 모든 괴로움을 주었는가.
Ah!
착취하지 않고선 살아갈 수 없는 존재들이니까.
거스르 내려와 우릴 감싸으며 당신과 내 심장 부드러지게 웃지 바람을 타고서 영원히 영원한 곳으로 그대와 함께 가면 이상
인간에겐 그리고 이 짐승들에겐
What?
어린 것의 순수함은 사치였다. 끝나지 않는 고통 속에서 사랑하고 사랑하며 언젠가 올날의 희망을 품는 것은 살고자 하는 본능인가 이타심인가. 그 중심에 있던 여자, 지금은 마녀라 불리는 그 여자는 늘 사랑을 찾곤 했다. 그 사랑을 탓할 수 있을까? 이 원자의 굴레는 어디서부터 왔으며 도무지 해답이 없는 시련을 이 생명들이 극복할 수 있을까?
Who the fuck? What? Wait, what? Okay, first of all, that's the rudest thing I've ever, but did I just see, wait, wait! That was so much information, almost none of which the type of information that I thought that I would be told. But then also, I'm looking at him, right? Is this why? Because there was like the couple of videos that have been dropped or whatever. At least one of them was about Till. I think maybe both of them are about Till. And I was like, oh, how interesting. We're going to get a flashback into... No! Is it present Till? Is it because I'm looking at him. I am going to watch that again. And maybe in another 8 minutes, it will sink in that Till breathes. He's alive. Hold, please. Hello. We're back. Let's comb through Karma and try to keep in mind that it's called Karma, which off the top of my head kind of reflects what Mizi says to Luca here in a bit, but then also what's said later on about humans always needing to exploit each other. So therefore with karma, it comes back around and we just mutually assure destruction. We bring about our own shitty ends because we can't stop doing this to each other, which is a whole conversation that we will get to. But right now, this opening fucking shot, this entire music video's emphasis on the children that they were, and the children who grew up into deeply harmed and traumatized adult because of everything they suffered when they were kids. The emphasis on childhood and innocence and ruined innocence throughout this whole thing is just so... It's brilliant, yes, but it is so fucking tragic, which is kind of funny because we didn't know what we were signing up for, but with the first music video, we were told, abandon happiness, all ye who enter here. And they delivered, so we can't really complain. We've done this to ourselves. So this first shot of Luca, not even just Kid Luca, a crying Kid Luca, to be interrupted by... Oh, he's just so fucking sad. Come on. YouTube is a little bit laggy with the frame to frame today, but we're going to get through it. Yeah. So Mizi smacks the ever-loving shit out of Luca, which just reminds me of in True Face. It's almost like she's mimicking behavior when Till slapped her. She then kind of immediately went off and wound up slapping Sua. And it's so slapping Luca here, it's just another part of like her mimicking behavior, and how she models herself off of how other people treat her, which goes all the way back to being a child and being treated a certain way by the aliens around her. And so she smacks the shit out of Luca. And then is now when she says, so we're back on stage. He's traumatized and not really fighting back. We're going to hear the traumatized word a lot. She then proceeds to just keep beating the shit out of him in front of aliens and everyone. The art is obviously fucking beautiful and stunning. And by now they have more resources to work with, and they're really putting it to work because animation is fucking expensive. What they did at the beginning was already just absurd with the small project that it was. And now as it's growing, you really see that reflected in the art and the animation and everything that they're putting into it. It's stunning, so that we can get beautifully lit, fully realized shots like this, designed to hurt our feelings. There is something to be said about, her face being almost entirely covered as he's exposed. Stop pretending to be righteous, she says. It's like, yeah, neither you nor I deserve to be saved. That was it, right? And then she just leaves him struck like that. So can you imagine Luca's experience? He just watched Hyuna sacrifice herself for him and then say very beautiful things to him. And please, dear God, forgive yourself over and over and over again, because that's where everything begins, or that's where it all starts. It all blooms from there. Forgiving yourself. Mizi, not in that place. That's not what she's going to say to anyone right now. And I wonder if, in addition to just an impossible pile of survivor's guilt on Mizi's shoulders, if part of the whole neither one of us deserve to be saved, is it just by participating in this game and doing what they have done to even participate in this game? Mizi, in a way, I would argue, not really, but in a way, signed up for this and begged to participate just so that she could feel some sort of power in crushing someone as she has been crushed. Any scrap of power for her. That's what she was seeking. And then we all know how Luca plays the game, right? So it makes sense that she would say neither you or I deserve to be saved, even though I strongly disagree. It makes sense that she says that to him in this moment. I'm hoping that he listens more to Hyuna than to Mizi in this moment. But the funny thing about a lot of people, especially traumatized people, is that the bad stuff is easier to believe. Because when you come from a traumatized background, that's kind of what you're familiar with. So being told good things and good truths, much harder to accept than just more bad. So my instinct would say that he would wind up listening to Mizi a little bit more in this moment. But I hope I'm wrong. Deeply, very much hope that I'm wrong. So this was so fucking mean. They really know how to. There's also a lot in here about ghosts and being haunted by the people we've lost, the things we've done, our own innocence, that kind of thing. And this is like the first gut punch of that. He was just told neither one of us deserve to be saved. Of course, he's seeing Hyuna's little brother in this moment. As in, like, this is why he doesn't deserve to be saved. That's so... This is so... Vivinos is so good at dialing up the cruelty. Both just being cruel to characters, but also being cruel to us. A very, very intense atmosphere has been set up. And the way that it gets wielded against us over and over and over again in ways great and small should be studied. And I'm sure it's being studied. I'm going to study it, certainly. That's such an emotional gut punch. In other things, in other media and other stories, this would be like the final shot of the thing, the episode, the movie, whatever. This would be the final shot. And this is 34 seconds in. Technically less, because we had that warning at the beginning about violence, etc. I can't fucking believe any of this. So she starts to walk away. And then that's when we get the actual song starting. I can't clock it immediately because I'm not as familiar with their voices yet. But considering how Isaac comes in later in some stuff relating to Till, or there's some Till emphasis, is Sua singing this? I wouldn't put it past him. Like I'm pretty sure she is. But I'm still so paranoid about poking anything about anything Alien Stage because of spoilers, and I am going through the master doc with you guys in the next videos. So I'm still very, very spoiler averse, but I'd put decent money that it's Sua. Could be Mizi, but I feel like it's probably Sua. So trying to keep track of, oh, I need my notes over here. Trying to keep track of lyrics. Because even with a second viewing, it's all very overwhelming. It's hard to catch all the lyrics and all of the visceral, emotional punches to the face. Sorry, Luca. So she continues to walk away, but she's just walking over to one of the cohorts, one of the Vive la Revolution people, looking real dead in the eyes. We head to the distant star below. I'm so sorry. Was there another lyric before that? See, even combing through this, I'm so fixated on the fucking visuals because they're beautiful and heartbreaking. Yeah, so me together with you, we head to the distant star. The distant star below. Interesting imagery. Oh no, of course he's emotional. Hyuna just fucking died. Oh, Jesus. he's got either the laptop or the tablet needed to set off the bomb that was part of all the original plan. But she just at the last second pulls a gun to get it away from him. So then what was we head to the distant star below, to eternity, or perhaps even beyond. I'm guessing that's a lyric about death. And then now they're arguing backstage. It looks like immediately before the performance. I think, I'm just rewinding a little bit. Well, obviously they're not angry so much as, I mean, it's right before the performance. How would you be feeling? Together we don't go to eternity or perhaps even beyond. Could also just be talking about their performance. Oh. Sua's fucking face. You and me, or we. And she covers Mizi's mouth just like she covered fucking Ooh. But in a, dear God, don't say anything. Don't stop me from doing this. Oh, one hand on another. And then she just, I need so much information on Sua. I'm so curious about her. Because it's like at the worst possible moment, she likes to bust out with these smiles. And I don't know if she's doing that in a genuine way, or if in really desperate moments she like forces that out of her because there's kind of nothing else that she can do in that moment. It could also be both. Very much both. And then that's Mizi with the gun on the guy to get the laptop, yeah, to get the laptop away from him. And everyone's fucking panicking because she's about to set off the bomb that wasn't supposed to go off until they got everybody off the stage. I'm presuming, because this was supposed to be a extraction. And she sets it to explode. Oh. But then notice how she's taking the laptop. But later on, we'll see the flames. It's like they rigged the audience to explode, not the stage, necessarily. Obviously, both would go up. But since they're getting people off of the stage, it would make sense that they would rig the audience more than the stage. At last, we reach the star below. They keep coming back to that fucking rocket imagery of what started all of this, which was humans exploring into space and not finding anything good. See, more ghosts, kid ghosts, being haunted by the children of it all. And they're all trying to stop her. But it's too fucking late. Because she doesn't want to be alive in this moment. This is her breaking. She did just say, fuck everything. And she was hoping to die in this moment. So similarly how we did with Luca, we're going to cut to a young crying Mizi to eternity or perhaps even beyond. And she's then joined by, is this just other kids? Because, like, I don't think either of them are recognizable. But apologies if I'm supposed to be picking up on who they are and I just haven't. But this is where the heart thing starts, which I'll have to remember because we get into some very curious heart imagery as this montage goes on. This busting out different art styles like they do in a second, and everything, this goes down in Alien Stage history in terms of like montages. Like there was the other one previously that just had a lot of those visuals with that beautiful like orchestral music that was just kind of jaw-dropping. And then this is doing something else entirely. But she was just a crying girl, and now she's surrounded by love. It's the 3 hearts. It's 1 heart for each of them. And being comforted. You and me, or we. Yeah. You and me as individuals. Or this is... Okay. All of a sudden, we get hit with imagery like this. A beating red, vibrant heart surrounded by thorns. Even the thorns emerging from the palms, like some kind of like barbed stigmata shit. Which would tie back into the whole God and faith of it all. About how humans used to have the capacity for faith and looked to God, and then that was just fucking crushed and ruined. This chest that has been cleaved open, it looks like. Surrounded by barbed thorns. I mean, if there was a single image that I would say communicates one of, if not the most potent message of Alien Stage, it would probably be this. A heart surrounded by thorns speaks to so many things, not just a nice pure beating, pulsing heart being surrounded by thorns, as in surrounded by violence, being caged, being subjected to pain and torture, but then also as a result of all that, a beating heart surrounded by thorns, as in a very, for lack of a better word, toxic type of attachment that everyone has been compelled to develop for everyone else. So it just speaks to a lot, to say nothing of, and this is very just loose intuitive interpretation here, but the thorns emerging from the hands and the hands being, you know, bloodied as a result. It's like, it's reminding me of like the things that they do being very specifically fucked up. Like the, I don't know, cheeks we've slapped. Just the actions that we have taken are also thorny and bloody and destructive and messy. Like, no kidding. I might say, wait a second. Am I crazy? No, I've got to be crazy. But for a second, it kind of looked like there was a very loose Sua shape happening with like her eyes and the hair and then like one of her earrings. But that feels very Jesus in toast going on. Oh. Now we're in space. The heart's being cradled by not by anything completely tangible. but also protected, even if not by anything terribly tangible. To go back to the Jesus toast thing, it kind of looks like, in a very Rorschach way, two people embracing, reaching out for each other, sort of. This is another gorgeous image. This is another one of my favorites. The veil draped over what is an androgynous figure, but looks a little bit feminine. And I'm getting the impression of short hair. So since we are dealing with Mizi in this moment, I automatically want to default to Sua, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. Mizi lost her mom too. This was interesting. I never could get a good read on what these markings were, but it looks like, I don't think these symbols don't leap out at me too much on the left and right, but it's obviously like silhouettes, like profile silhouettes, like a cameo situation. Is it just Mizi, since they're inverted on each other, is it just Mizi looking down on Tail in this moment? When twilight falls and gently embraces us. I thought this was another death metaphor, but because of how it finishes, oh, we're gonna get to this. It was like when twilight falls and gently embraces us. What was the next lyric? I can't believe that. Give me the next. Okay, you know what? We'll get to the next lyric when the next lyric comes. The visual metaphor that they went with of literally a heart gem coming up out of the mouth, and when it breaks, it has that like black ichor. There's just fucked up toxic imagery everywhere in really creatively impactful ways. And going back to the kiss that I've enforced, he's literally trying to shove his love into Till's mouth. And it breaks. And the look on his face as he does it, the unhinged need to do this and try to literally kiss it into his mouth as he pries open his mouth. Jesus. He bit it until it broke, but then I want to get, it is just like a black kind of iridescent, very like oily kind of ichor thing going on. To say nothing of the image of just a heart shattering, but a heart shattering into so much darkness. Ooh, yeah, what was this? I didn't get this either. A heart with a sword through it, Jesus. And then I'm trying to make sense of this. Is it a negative space thing? Oh, this really looks like hair. Oh, okay, I got it. Yeah, all of this is here. Here's the tears going down the face. Here's the line of the nose going into the mouth and the profile. Okay. And then this sword through the heart, very tarot card. Oh, more eyes there. Hello. Hi. It's been a few days from that last shot to this one because I ran into some tech difficulties. So now we get to pick right back up where we left off, which is hilarious because the image immediately after that previous one is this. This Renaissance painting of emotional torture. Look at it. I can't believe they arranged it. like this and just depicted. I can't believe they've done this. So Luca is holding Hyuna. Her heart, literally gemstone heart with that ichor, shattered on her chest because she's fucking dead. The splatter of it splattered on Luca's face to resemble tears is diabolical. Luca is holding what I can only presume is his heart, like he had it ready for her, like he was going to give it to her, but she's fucking dead. To say nothing of Hyuna's little brother that is weighing him down. The body of Hyuna's little brother weighing on him. This is one of my favorite images that they've ever given us. And that is saying something. I don't really like looking at it, even though it's stunning, obviously, because it's just so fucking sad. 11 out of 10. Get this away from me. Holy Jesus, what's next? I don't need to see the tears of that. Oh, yeah, this image. Of course. A beating, vulnerable heart and its metallic layer of protection that has been ripped apart and shattered, leaving nothing but the vulnerability underneath. No, thank you so much. Funny how that comes with our hearts burst into joyful bloom, when the images is definitely giving bursting in a sense of that metallic layer. Joyful bloom? I don't know. But it's certainly bursting. This definitely reminds me of the tarot card Three of Swords. It's a very, very famous card in the tarot deck. You have probably seen it, even if you didn't know what you were looking at. The Three of Swords is a heart with three swords sticking into it. So technically there's a fourth nail over here, but the swords are kind of arranged upright, being shoved downward into the heart. So you can see how I got there. And then the lighting in this is like a holy religious painting, seems to be the style. Like the hand looks a bit weird. Oh no, that's part of the heart sticking out of the bottom here. And then there's blood trickling over the back of the hands. So then you have, well, there's four. It's is that, yeah, because the nail isn't sticking out of the hand, it's sticking out of the heart. You can see right there. Just visceral, and I again love it. Can't really look at it too long, as beautiful as it is. It also looks like warped and deformed, actually, because like this is not how like an arm, wrist, and hand work. Like, what is this area? So we have malformed arms and hands gripping onto a literally pierced heart. Still over the lyric, our hearts burst into joyful bloom. Holy crap. The way they're all just tortured. And this, I mean, very clearly, this is giving Three of Swords just for the fact that there is a sword going through a heart. But then this white snake business, it's getting, is the erotic interpretation of the snake just a Western thing? Or is that also an Eastern thing? I actually don't know if that association is the same. But in Western imagery, at the very least, snakes come with a certain erotic quality because they're phallic. Like, yeah. And this white snake though looks kind of like it's protecting the heart. So, I wonder how this. I wonder if there'd be anything to coming through this to see if each one of these hearts represented a specific character, potentially. But I would have to, obviously, spend some time getting to know them better in order to make those calls. Which, you know, I will. Oh, and then the upside down, yeah. Oh, of Mizi. Her heart's missing too. So much fun. It kind of looks like typography, these words, above and below. The one in the bottom right is kind of giving villainess, like it's spelling villainess, but one that doesn't entirely make sense, even with everything we know about Mizi now. And then I definitely can't pick up any specific word going on up here. So just curious images. And doesn't this go like right into their being upside down? Yeah. I cannot believe that these two girls are the ones who got the closest to like a genuine they got the closest to healthy romance that we get in this entire project. Let me get to where it backs up. This ichor trickling down both of them, and the fact that you can't really understand. You understand that they're inverted, but you're not really sure because it goes by so fast that you probably wouldn't have the time to realize that they each have half of their heart in each other's mouth. The fact that it's a couple of queer girls who have the closest thing to a healthy dynamic is meaningful to me as a queer girl. It's also strange because the shot's inverted, but they're not upside down because their hair is fine. So we're just getting the inverted version of this. It's like disorienting, like so much of this series is. And also I think kind of goes a little bit, it doesn't go far. The inverted the inversion, the ichor is trailing up like they're inverted, but not their hair. And so this isn't an entirely sensical image, which to me says that emphasizes the fact that they're the closest to a healthy, normal dynamic full of deep feelings and love, but they're still not right. There's still like dysfunction going on with both of them, and a lot of pain, a lot of trauma, a lot of maladaptive behavior. And this is a really like unique way to communicate that. Because don't they? Yeah. And like, that's the case with the black ichor. Like, it's so loving and still so fucked up. We ride the wind to a place beyond time if I'm with you. This love. Oh yeah, now we're back to that Mizi has detonated or triggered the detonation. And then the image of just two kids, kids. The feeding into the specter of childhood innocence over here. And Hyuna fucking dead. They're just sitting over Hyuna. Okay. You could really argue that for narrative purposes, they're basically ghosts. The ghosts of children. I mean, thank you for the confirmation, I guess, that she's like fully dead, but that just makes me sad. And then Sua. Oh yeah, Hyuna. The fact that Mizi is saying this to Hyuna is really something. But like, Hyuna, there's something I need to confess. Yeah, Sua. She was secretly rehearsing her death every night. I mean, if Ivan can make that move on account of Till, then of course, Sua, one of them, was going to. And the fact that it's Sua who was dedicated to throwing the alien stage is just so fucking sad. And Mizi knew. And oh, that's probably what they were arguing about, actually. Oh, what does this lyric say? Hang on. It's a lyric that Sua's highlighting. And I knew but pretended not to. Sua's commitment to a moment of joy at the absolutely worst times. So they just let each other, there are the flowers with the eyes. Maybe I just wasn't as desperate for her. She looks like she's been hit. Maybe I just wasn't desperate for her. Wasn't as desperate for her. Oh. Like, they very clearly have such a... Wait, are they laying amongst fucking landmines? I have not clocked that until, like, just now. Not even in the rewatch that I did. Are they... That... See, actually, this communicates a lot about the whole Mizi Sua thing. They are very much in love with each other in a really beautiful way, but it's so intense that it gives, like, if they could mesh into one person, I feel like they would. Like, no boundaries. And why would you have boundaries if you're these girls? Where did they pick up boundaries? And then Mizi's obviously in a bad way because her choker is red. Oh. No, and then there's this moment of fun. No, this line fucked me up. I know my love was different from yours. She featured just some, but it was love too. It's such a beautiful way to, it's an eloquent way to express something that's been expressed in queer spaces from time immemorial. But something about the phrasing, it feels so like simple and effortless here. And it can only, I have a queer reading on this because that's the only thing that makes sense. Like, she's talking to Hyuna, and she says, I know my love was different from yours, but it was love too. What other difference is there that she could be talking about? This is also a genuine question because there might be an angle that I am missing, being very new to all of this. But the big one to come out and punch me in the face is queer, definitely, which can kind of speak to some type of homophobia existing in this universe. If she would need to make that, like, plead to Hyuna. But, oh, and see, tucking a flower is so nice. There's a camera in there. We get no nice things in Alien Stage. If it's something nice, then it's like in the past or a fanciful, like, what if? Like, I can't think off the top of my head something that was genuinely nice happening in Alien Stage. Oh. And see, with her jabbing the needle into her neck, did they fucking carve their name? Actually, I'm wondering. If Sua carved her name into her neck, then did she carve Mizi's name into Mizi's arm while she's out? There's kind of no way to tell because Mizi could have just as soon done it to herself. We have no way of knowing anything otherwise. Her arm is clamped, though. I guess the images could be unrelated because if her arm is clamped, then maybe this is just from the time where they had their names engraved, tattooed, carved, what have you. I would think that would have happened when they were younger, but who's to say? And there's the obvious intimacy here, and with Sua reaching out to Mizi's name on her arm, but like it's very dark in here. We only have like this shaft of light that only partially like lights them up, but then also with the way that the gowns lay on them, it's like we get these slight peeks into the curves, and with the way Sue is laying, and there's still something very, very intimate in this moment, which is what makes me think that they carved their names into themselves. Oh yeah, and then this, and see, even this, they're just kids with their legs in water, and like, oh, isn't that so nice? But you can see the reflection of like the walls and the like the red lights in the walls, and you can see how the water is like digitized. And then there's another flower with presumably another camera. No nice things, none whatsoever. And now they've cried themselves to sleep. Yeah, and then images kind of go a little fast. It looks like that would be Sua's own hands around the back of her neck. I don't think she's being choked. But it's kind of giving that same moment as to when like she jabbed it in her neck, potentially when they had their names carved into each other. Let me go back and try to get that in in the actual moment. Let me see that neck thing in the actual moment. Okay. You know, I'm gonna say that's Sua with her hands around her own neck. That's gonna be my guess. Unless I mean, if it was Mizi choking her for some reason, which then it would pair nicely with this image of Sua holding on to her, because it's like in this one, Mizi's grabbing onto Sua, and in this one, Sua's grabbing onto Mizi. So like that would make sense. But I don't know. Let me know what this moment is about. I'm kind of, it's difficult to get a read on because it happens so fast. Let me know if there's just some very obvious interpretation that I am entirely missing at the moment. But then this, first of all, we have to give a shout out to the composition, because with the way that things are angled and the way that they've drawn the clouds, it's like the clouds are at the same angle as their hands. So pretty much the same angle. It's not perfectly aligned, but the angle is aligned between their hands and the clouds just enough to be pleasing to the eye, but not so like rigid and parallel that it comes off as like weird or unnatural. It's just beautiful. And the fact that this all comes at, but it was love too. Stop. Who could really blame me? Who could really blame any of them? Just like I said, where did they learn boundaries? But then also, like, who could really blame any of them for these intense feelings of love, fixation, and obsession with each other under these circumstances? I don't blame them. Like, the human psyche can only take so fucking much, and the human psyche is going to respond in certain ways. That's actually fairly dependable a lot of the time. We're very programmable. This is such a beautiful shot, but so fucking heartbreaking. And what really fucks me up is Sua has long hair. When did Sua cut her hair? Have we seen any moment about Sua cutting her hair that I'm just not remembering? Because that would be really funny and fairly on brand. And again, aligned just so with the sky and the clouds as to create a beautiful image without being so rigid as to be unnatural. They took the same thing that they applied to that shot with the hands, except now it's for an entire full image that's horrifically sad. Sua stopped Mizi from fucking killing herself. Because somehow Sua can still access joy in all of this. That might be one of the big things about her as a character. She somehow finds bits of joy where other people are just too swamped with awful to take it, to sustain that kind of existence. If you'd seen the look on her face too, you wouldn't be able to judge me either. Oh, wow. If you saw how much she loved me, you wouldn't judge. It's not just me loving her. It's she loves me. We love each other. And if you saw how beautiful and intense that was, Mizi's kind of saying, Huna, watch the music videos and you will understand and you will not judge me or Sua because of the way we love each other. Oh. Oh, right. And then all of this with the flower, with the camera flowers. And this is actually fucking, it's the shot that we get at the end with the results of the round. That's what this is. Like, you can see that, weird shape, and you can even see part of the bracket, the tournament bracket lines up here. I don't know whose shot that is. Maybe that's Ivan. But, like, that's what, oh, no, wait, maybe it's Sua. That would track. But yeah, it's these painted over, very like artsy flowers growing over. Oh God, this. Jesus. I would love an explanation as to what exactly goes on with the medical angle of things. Because either blood is being taken from them or given to them, and there's different readings for Sua and for Mizi. Mizi seems to be, wild guess, in better physical condition than Sua. But they're both tethered into this machine. And why is it like coming out of a bath? Why are they in a bath like this? To say nothing of being like together. And since it's dark, it really doesn't feel like they're in a lab, you know, being tested on. Like, are they having to do this for their health? Is this just something that humans have to do? I'd be very curious to get the download on the medical angle to all of this. And like, that's a readout on her skin that I don't think translates to letters, but that says 50. And she has these nodes on her, all over her. Oh wait, it looks like they're through her skin on her legs. What the fuck? Like, going to the back of the hand is giving like IV almost. The way they juxtapose these people being in abject misery and in moments that they have had or imagine of being unbelievably happy. Yeah, still works. Still works. Thanks so much. Yeah, specifically, that's what she wore on the Alien stage. I wonder if this moment for them, grabbing her hands and being so emotional. Well, this image in particular is really like, what a beautiful moment of joy. And then these flowers bloom over her face and start covering her face. But they're the camera flowers. So it's like the surveillance and the captivity and the oppression is still there, covering her, spreading through her actually with these roots. And this seems like they're having a truly like devastated moment in more images that we get from here about having to perform on the Alien stage together. That would be my guess. And then she's being... And then this is a quick little shot of Mizi being detained. They're trying to get the tablet away from her because she just activated the detonation. So that's a little bit in the current time. And now we're back. Oh, and see, Mizi's hands are around her neck again. Oh. I wonder if Sua stabbing herself in the neck was just her putting in this stabbing in a needle to either drain or receive blood. And so the shot we get is of Mizi's hands going around Sua's neck, but not in any kind of violent way. Oh, damn. And then here's Mizi. Sua's smiling. Why would you make basically this shot the thumbnail? Why? Sadists make this. Genius sadists make this. And we signed up for it, but here we are. I can't take this. I can't take Sua always finding a way to smile. Again, it's either just like an impulse because she has nothing else, or it's legitimately like she just finds joy in the most heinous places. Is this all of them falling? On rewatch, I thought Mizi just saw a lot of Sua. I thought like these were all Sua and it was just raining all these different. But no, I think that might be everyone she's lost. It's kind of hard to tell. The one at the forefront is definitely Sua. Maybe the one at the top left is Hyuna, what with her hair and everything. And then maybe like a couple of the boys are over here. Oh! And then all of this. When twilight falls and gently embraces us. Jesus Christ. Repeating that so often. Everything is exploding. No, the way that they, like now the audience is, and everything is like blowing up on fire. But the way that they've communicated that first, rather than just showing everything going up, the way that they've communicated that first is by going into all of this imagery of everything exploding. Everything is on fire. And here they are as kids. Because they were just innocent kids before everything destroyed them. And there's Hyuna and her little brother. Oh, this is kind of imagery of the, I think, part of the stage lights exploding. Was that a face? No. Never mind, it wasn't. Broken glass, though. Ugh. Here's Till and Ivan. Back when they were innocent boys, before they were obliterated. And like, man, look at that. I mean, Till is just looking and smiling and being joyful. Meanwhile, Ivan has already like imprinted hard. And like, I don't blame you, man. Everything explodes. Our hearts burst into joyful bloom over the explosion. Again, I'm getting the bursting. Joyful? Maybe not so much. Oh. Ooh, did that looks like it kind of formed someone. Like an eye here and hair here. But I might just be reading into things too much. I'm just trying to see if I catch any little hidden picture. Because I feel like they've done that to me before. But I don't think so. No, getting an actual kiss. Are you kidding? In what they performed in? While they're wearing what they performed in? Like, for the ages. Give me a wallpaper for my desktop of every single frame of this fucking kiss because I want it. I might make it myself. It's beautiful and utterly tragic. And with them, you know, a little bit toxic doomed Yuri is good for the soul. And boy, do they qualify. Look how stunning that is. And they're smiling. God, they're the only ones who want each other. Everyone else is out here in painful, obsessive, unrequited attachment, but they actually had each other. I really do. I need every screenshot of this. Oh, this is an actual shot of the aliens going up in flames like they deserve. If I'm with you, this love, I'm still getting alien. Yeah, this is definitely like green blood splattering. This is definitely aliens going up. There were kids in the audience. There's always been kids in the audience. So of course there would be kids in the audience now. When Mizi blows everything up. That's fucked up. And look how they're highlighting all the kids here. They're made the kids very visible as everything explodes. Hang on. Go back a little bit. All right. Not that I wanted to see that again. I just wanted to make sure that okay. I didn't miss anything else. If I'm with you is what the lyrics are saying at the moment. If I'm with you, this love. That's not Till. That's not Till. I can never accurately identify Till. Ever. It's so funny to me. Apologies if it's frustrating for you, but it's hilarious to me. I either identify someone is Till and it's not Till, or I see Till and I don't think it's Till. I'm never correct. You were running away from the very beginning. Yeah. Uh-huh. Ekion project. System architecture and structural schematics. Is this... Because we see a lot of rocket imagery. Because that was, you know, the moment everything went to shit for humanity. But Ekion project. But I'm also wondering if, like, that's their goal. Like, is this the Resistance's goal? Build a rocket and get the fuck out of here? Get as many people as possible and get the fuck out of here? I mean, that would be a crazy fucking idea to work towards, but honestly, it would kind of be the only thing to work towards, is getting off of this planet and away from... to flee. Fleeing is the only answer here. Peace across the universe. We're going to reach the true Earth. Oh, I wonder if this was an ad for that initial launch. Yeah. When they were leaving. So this is basically a bit of, for lack of a better word, propaganda. We're going to bring peace across the universe and reach the true Earth, the place that we're meant to be. So then maybe the rocket before then was just another part of the rocket leaving home moment it all went to shit imagery. Not once did you face your real feelings. Is that a poster of Luca I'm looking at? That is a, what, a torn poster of Luca? Not once did you face your real feelings. Hyuna just fucking bolted. Which, again, can you blame her? Like, Mizi and Sua found their love and vulnerability and, you know, embraced it 100 times over. Ivan found his source of attachment and therefore vulnerability, huge weak spot. And ran toward it, you know, screaming practically. Hyuna saw the one thing that would make her vulnerable and ran from it. And to me, that screams self-preservation. Why on this planet, in this galaxy, would you stay around anything or anyone who made you vulnerable? I don't blame her. I understand how someone has that reaction. And of course, I understand how they could come to regret that. This argument is interesting because either the dialogue we're hearing now is maybe what led to this confrontation between Hyuna and Mizi. That's the only thing that I can think of. Either that or I just don't know. Because, like, I can very much see Mizi saying to, Hyuna's face, not once did you face your real feelings, and then Hyuna being angry about that. Just a little bit. Did clinging to some noble cause or sense of justice ever really fix anything? This is a big question. Has it fixed anything? Well, no, because humans are still being subjugated by aliens. But that doesn't mean that it was, like, pointless. Or that she hasn't done a lot of good. They got Mizi out of there. They've gotten other people out of there. They have a little community of rebels who would otherwise be, tortured or dead or captive if it wasn't for the cause that she was fighting for. So has it fully fixed things yet? No. Is it, one, just a worthy endeavor overall, but two, having a positive effect in a very, very bleak world? Yes. Oh, Hyuna. I can't believe Hyuna's fucking dead. God. Can we please move forward with it? Thank you. Oh, yeah. The imagery of her screaming and crying as her brother disappears. Thanks for that. Thanks so much. Oh, and then a different angle of Hyuna. Oh, it's Hyuna dead as the explosion happens. But what came of it? A meaningless death, but you save people still? Oh, God. Hyuna's brother just... And then Luca... Oh, that flash of euphoria at that moment of killing. This is a very difficult story to navigate. But do you have any idea how excited I am to plunge into the Master Doc? I am so deeply excited. I have a bare minimum of 2 recording sessions set aside just for the Master Doc to comb through it, because one, it's a Master Doc, so it's pretty lengthy, and then also, if you haven't noticed, I'm incapable of shutting up. What is the... Oh, that's that one shot of painting. I think Missy over there. And even if we'd been granted freedom, we'd have still felt alone. Well, yeah, that would have to be something you worked past. Because when we're talking about this level of mental, emotional, psychological, and physical torture, which is, there's a saying among people who have been to prison that either prison is a mentality or captivity is a mentality or something like that, to speak to prisoners who are incarcerated for a significant period of time, getting out, but their brain, they're still operating as if they were in like captivity. There's still that sense of captivity that they carry with them out of that prison. even though they are now free. So the idea of even if we'd been granted freedom, we'd have still felt alone makes sense to me. Oh. Humans are the root of all this pain. I kind of disagree. Aliens have a little something to do with it. But I think what could be meant by because humans are the root of all this pain is that, like, we certainly use each other and we're cruel to each other. But I think also, like, we are the ones who left Earth in this scenario. We're the ones who went exploring into a place where we apparently really didn't want to be and didn't belong. So in that sense, it's kind of humanity's fault. And then this, like, that look in the adult goat's eye, it's just so... almost like it's enjoying licking the blood from the younger. I can't exactly make if it's a goat or if it's a deer. I guess we'll go with it's kind cow-ish. No, if it's like a deer situation, and it looks like they're tagged and everything, and it does almost look like the adult is enjoying licking the blood off. Which, since it comes at the line, because humans are the root of all this pain, says something to human, for lack of a better word, sadism and relishing in that kind of suffering. And even though I disagree, with because humans are the root of all this pain, once again, I still understand how she got there and why she thinks that. Oh, the crack in the cheek of this as well. I'd love to hear behind the scenes about everything, but I would love to hear behind the scenes about choosing the different images that flash, like this, like all the heart stuff, like all of that, how they chose that and why they decided to do that, because that's fairly unique to this. I don't think outside of Karma we've had just out of pocket images just flashing, like evocative imagery that's not part of the actual narrative, just flashing to create a visceral mood and like emphasis. I'd love to hear people talk about that, like this. And playing out on the root of all this pain, when this imagery is kind of to the contrary, it looks like you're shielding a human soul, for fuck's sake. Come on. We're creatures who can't seem to love without exploiting. Well, that just goes back to the adult and baby goat. Because it's the look in that older goat's eyes that kind of looks exploitive. That would be a more specific word to use rather than just they look like they're enjoying it. But saying we're creatures who can't seem to love without exploiting over this. Oh, I hadn't seen the needles. I had not even in the rewatch. I was like, that's so interesting to have like the cocoon with like the butterfly emerging right at the moment of something that says of a line of dialogue that says something so dark about people can't seem to love without exploiting, but like the pins in a butterfly trying to emerge. I mean, we do pin insects to boards. So that kind of tracks. Oof. Oh. Dead rabbits behind it. Blood on the mouth. Creatures. We're creatures you can't seem to love without exploiting. All this like visceral animal imagery is kind of speaking to how animalistic humans are, because humans are, after all, animals. God. And then all the babies. Can't seem to love without exploiting. What the fuck is this? There's an arm. Oh, was this arm blown off and we're kind of getting a top-down image, and there's a chest involved here? Or am I crazy? Is this moving? This doesn't move. Oh, what even is that? Obviously a body organ of some kind. Oh, God. See, that's unsettling. Oh, it is a goat. That's a goat iris. That's unsettling. Presumably Mizi, what with the hair, being juxtaposed to the goat. I'm going to rewind for a second, just so that I didn't just skip ahead. This is very nondescript body organ, but then again, I'm not the best with anatomy, so it might be giving something very specific, and I just can't identify it. Because it's sort of heart-ish, but it's not actually the real shape of a heart, I don't think. But again, they've all chosen very like meaty, very blood, violent, like touches of violence, animalistic, when talking about a rather cynical view on humanity. This, it's like it's off-putting, and very successfully off-putting. But two, it's like with the irises being the same color, it does kind of draw that comparison to that more animalistic nature of people. And I don't know why that did something weird. Hang on. Okay. And so it's hard to describe, but I get why this image is here specifically. It's part of this whole sequence. And then there she is. In the midst of all the explosion and fire, I'm trying to get what's going on behind her, because this is back in the present moment after she's detonated everything. And now she's beat to shit. People evacuating behind her? Oh. Yeah, he's, whoever he is, a little horrified at what she's done. Actually, he's looking out. It seemed like he was kind of looking out into the audience. He could have been fathoming that there were kids out there. And then that's Hyuna. Oh, I forgot about this shot. Damn. They really like to have people like really looking down at the people who are dead. More explosion. Oh, the shot of hands. Oh, this one guy's reaching out for someone while Mizi just holds Till, and there's chaos around her, behind her. Oh, God. It's like she's always there, isn't she? For Mizi. Always. She's haunted by Sua. And now, she believes that she's haunted by Till. I would imagine it'd be great if she knew that Till was alive. Oh, people are getting out. Oh, in fact, I think that's that one hot guy in the top right. Oh, looking back, and here's an actually like good shot of all the chaos. So it's mostly the audience, which makes sense that the plan would be to blow up the audience, especially if the original plan was to get Luca and Till out of there. But the guy has looked back and she's just there. She's not running. She's not doing anything. She's just there. Having profoundly broken over losing somebody else. God. Ugh. And this is just beautifully like illustrated. And it's so emotional. That's just oh my God, is that a tear of hers falling onto him? Stop. This is such I am the poetic cinema meme. Because it's so beautiful. It's just like that other shot with Luca and Hyuna and Hyuna's little brother. Like it feels almost Renaissance. But it's such tragedy. But it's beautiful. I would have a wallpaper of this if it didn't make me so profoundly fucking sad. And the close-up. The Till on his neck. The earpiece is red. Kind of obvious, for obvious reasons. But now... Did she reach out? Oh yeah, she stopped him. She's so fucking sad. But she reached out. It took her a second. But she reached out. I wonder, actually, if that was like... If she realized in that moment that he wasn't dead. It was! Her pupil shrank. Did you see that? Hang on, let me turn down the volume a little bit. Did you see that? She had her head to his chest and she heard his heart beating. And her pupil shrank with shock and she grabbed someone. And that was the only reason she grabbed someone is because she felt that Till was alive. Oh my God. That happens really fast, but it still happens. Holy shit. I feel like she only moved because she felt that Till was alive. That gave her a reason to move. Otherwise, she just would have stayed there and burned alive. Oh my God. Yes, and then... This is interesting to me because, like, they're not pictured talking about it here, but it's like she didn't tell. Just because Mizi found Sua in one of these moments while Sua was kind of studying and preparing to throw the match, Just because she went out and hugged her doesn't necessarily like mean that Mizi then communicated, I know what you're doing and why. This to me seems just like a moment of, dear God, we're going to have to, one of us is going to die. Because we have to perform together. Because it wasn't sad enough. Interesting to know that there's an archive room, though. A massive archive room. Look at this. And then this little tease. Oh, God, and it's Isaac who starts talking. Right, for humans and for these beasts, too. For humans and for these beasts, too, innocence was a luxury they couldn't afford. Oh. Innocence was a luxury they couldn't afford. Yeah. Because yeah. Endless suffering. Thank you, Isaac. Yeah. There's no such thing as innocence when you're subjected to shit like this. Innocence is a luxury, though. That's going right next to ignorance is bliss for me. Ignorance is bliss. Innocence is a luxury. Damn, Ivan. Oh, Mizi and Sua. God damn. In this endless suffering. God. Oh my God, it's that moment. It's the moment she was fucking shot. We didn't see that in the first. We just saw the after effect. And then Mizi, we didn't see the moment Sua was shot. Okay, I'm sorry. Go back. I was distracted. In this endless suffering, to love and be loved. Of course. To love and be loved. To love and be loved. To hold on to hope for a day that may never come. Uh-huh. It's either what's that? L plus M. Luca plus Numa? Why are they fucking around with blood? This plus pH. L plus M. M, who's M? I could very easily just be blanking on a name right now. What are they fucking with blood for? To hold on to hope for a day that may never come. So I wonder if the love and the fixation and the obsession is entwined with hope in this case. Is that a survival instinct or selflessness? Selflessness. Caring for other people as a survival instinct. Loving people, caring for people as a survival instinct. Or selflessness because you're caring for someone else. Yeah, and these are the new kids. So now, after that cut to black, now it's been, I think we see later on, it's been, like years or some shit. So these are new kids. Or at least younger kids. And obviously with the hair, I'm like, is this girl related to Mizi somehow? And also, like, are these in any kind of season 2 for Alien Stage? Are these like potential, like the next round, the next stage? Are these the next contestants? Like him, like this guy too? Do they all kind of resemble the cast we know and love? Because him with his eyelashes and his blondness is kind of giving Luca in that way. This kid actually was a little Ivan. Oh, and now Mizi, yeah, at the center of it all was a woman who blew the whole thing sky fucking high. Not that it can't be remade. A woman now called a witch who was always searching for love. She found it. She found other people to love and care about, but they kept fucking dying. Oh my god, I didn't read like most of this, even in the rewatch, because obviously we're meant to focus on Mizi in the center. But Luca's return, 7 years in memory of the alien stage tragedy, the alien life lost. 7 years. No use human. The alien stage museum open. See, to me, that kind of says, like, why? Well, no, I guess that's not true. You can have museums of things that are still currently happening, so that doesn't necessarily suggest that Alien Stage was effectively ended. Because otherwise, Luca's back to what? How is Luca back at all? There's a bar. And opposite. What's this opposite? Oh, I know that insignia. So I know that insignia. I just can't quite remember what it's for. But I'm pretty sure it was something positive. So in addition to, no use human, as in humans don't have a use, there's also the opposite. Graffiti. What's that? That ZUARZTEO? That's almost certainly wrong. Luca's back, though. What the fuck are these two rings? Is my question. Luca's back. Mizi's still alive. It's these two rings attached by a chain. I feel like... I mean, it's so prominent in the image that has to mean something. Probably Huna related, but who fucking knows? Context is king in this series. Who knows what it could be until you're specifically given the information. 7 years later. Can we really blame her for that? Where did this original sin begin? Till's scars all over his neck. Scars all over his neck. And in the face of a trial with no clear answer, can these lives ever overcome it? Oh, okay. Subjugation. Still very much a thing. I wonder how long Alien Stage was paused for. Nice. Oh, these kids, because he's saving these kids. Wait, what was on the computer screen behind him? Real quick. Oh, it looks like it's just cameras on Anoct, on the garden. Oh, but he's here to save kids. What is this? Because, like, he points at... Hang on, let me find what he points to. Yeah, he points at the circle. So... Hit pause. Thank you. So this looks like an exit strategy. But also, it's almost like he's asking her where this is. And then I can't quite make out what that insignia is over here. Oh, I'd love any explanations of this. Like where it could be. The flower that they put cameras in. Oh, and they're selling microphones. They're selling, this looks like the dress that Sua wore. And the dress that Mizi wore. Sure. Wouldn't you want to have that? It's pop culture gold right there. What's playing behind them? Probably the performance. But I'll go back for a second just to see if I can catch it. That's kind of what it looks like, yeah. And then these kids. Yeah, because see, it's like he was looking for them, these kids specifically. And then, like, the emphasis is all on her. How is she related to Mizi, though? Like, they also, these kids, very obviously on display amongst the other artifacts in the museum. Oh, maybe the dresses weren't for sale. They were just on display at the museum. Sure. Sure. Uh-huh. Oh, right. There's that insignia up there. Was that the insignia for Alien Stage? I believe. And then with the short hair and the beautiful eyes and that fucking smile. Oh my God. Why would you do this to me? Why would you be that fucking mean about it? I'm going to be mean and leave it there while we talk for a second. I can't believe Till's alive. Till is alive. So we have survivors from season 1 of Alien Stage. Luca, Till, and Mizi. The other half are dead. Honestly, it's more than I thought would survive. Because if it had happened on course, only one of them would be alive. And it would probably be Luca. But was Luca coming back to the Alien Stage? I don't know. There's shit. There's there are videos. The most recent drops from Vivianos, I think, is a couple of videos about Till. And when I saw that, I think I may have mentioned this before. When I saw that, I thought that it was like going to be a flashback of Till, but no, this is the next thing. I don't think it's fully just the next season or fully the next part. It's still interim stuff, some like connective things between this and the actual next Alien Stage. But there's more Till to be watching, absorbing. Till's going to be getting up to some things, apparently. I mean, he's already up to things. He's looking for whoever this girl is who's related to Mizi. So this round, this season of Alien Stage, very much over, but I love that it's not going to be like an anthology, that we're not going to get an entirely new crop of characters and completely move on to the next Alien Stage competition. And instead, it's going to be some new characters, obviously, but we're going to continue with 3 out of 6 of them. Holy shit. Well, that's it for the season of Alien Stage. I will now be diving into the Master Doc, and then potentially after the Master Doc, I will almost certainly be doing this all over again for whatever those, I think 2 so far, Till videos are, and then for whatever Alien Stage does next. So that is what is coming up. I may not get to the Till stuff until as early as possible next year, because my schedule is absolutely ridiculous at the moment. But it will definitely happen, and I'm going to do my absolute best to stay as up on Alien Stage stuff as possible, because this is brilliant. I don't know if you realized, but I love this very, very much. So much, maybe a little too much, because I'm about to pour over the Master Doc to flesh all of this out even more. And I'm so excited. So I will see you as soon as I can possibly get to the Master Doc. I will see you for that. And in the meantime, please remember to take care of yourself.